upayanti kam te. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Purport. In this verse, the word Buddhi Yogam is very significant. We may remember that in the second chapter of the Lord, the Lord instructing Arjuna said that he had spoken to him of many things and that he would instruct him in the way of Buddhi Yoga. Now, Buddhi Yoga is explained. Buddhi Yoga itself is action in Krishna consciousness. That is the highest intelligence. Buddhi means intelligence and yoga means mystic activities or mystic elevation. When one tries to go back home, back to Godhead and takes fully to Krishna consciousness in devotional service, his actions is called his action is called Buddhi Yoga. In other words, Buddhi Yoga is the process by which one gets out of the entanglement of this material world. The ultimate goal of progress is Krishna. People do not know this. Therefore, the association of devotees and the bona fide spiritual master are important. One should know that the goal is Krishna. And when the goal is assigned, then the path is slowly but progressively traversed, and the ultimate goal is achieved. When a person knows the goal of life but is addicted to the fruits of activities, he is acting in karma yoga. When when he know that the goal is Krishna, but he takes pleasure in mental speculation to understand Krishna, he is acting in Jnana yoga. And when he knows the goal and seeks Krishna completely in Krishna consciousness and devotional service, he is in Bhakti yoga or Buddhi yoga, which is the complete yoga. This complete yoga is the highest perfectional stage of life. A person may be bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization. But if he is still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions so that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. The qualification is that a person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness and with love and devotion render all kinds of services. He should perform some sort of work for Krishna and that work should be with love. If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain to him. Okay. So in this sloka, Krishna says, Tesam satati yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upayantite. So if when a devotee uh, is with full devotion, with full love, surrendering to Krishna, then Krishna gives us Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is also called Bhakti Yoga. So why Buddhi Yoga is important? Because Buddhi Yoga is the process, and Buddhi Yoga is important for us because Buddhi Yoga is the process. And let's say like if we have to reach to a particular destination, we have the goal attached to it. We need to the path to reach that. If we don't, I'll mix Hindi as well in between. So अगर हमें रास्ता नहीं पता है, अगर हम सही रास्ते पर नहीं है, तो हम सही गोल पर नहीं पहुंच सकते हैं. Let's take an example. हमें एक मार्केट में किसी एक शॉप पर जाना है और हमें ये एक रास्ता पता है जो हम फॉलो करेंगे उस दुकान पर जाने के लिए. अगर उस रास्ते को फॉलो करेंगे तो हम भले ही वॉक करके जाएं, इवन इफ वी वॉक वी विल रीच दैट पर्टिकुलर डेस्टिनेशन. बट इफ वी आर टेकिंग द रॉन्ग path, and even though we are in the car, we will not reach that particular destination. Whatever however speed you go, you will not reach that particular destination. So first thing is to understand the path, understand the process, and to reach to the supreme destination, go back home, go back to Godhead. The path is Buddhi Yoga. And Krishna says here, if we are surrendering ourselves Priti Purvakam with so much of love, then Krishna will give us Buddhi Yoga. So when we'll get that Buddhi Yoga, we'll reach to the destination, because that is the path and Bhakti Yoga is the process. Okay, so this sloka is divided into two part. So as I said, first part is tesam satatyuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam. So a devotee has to think about Krishna and do services to Krishna, do devotional services. Pritipurvakam is with full devotion. And the second part is Krishna will reciprocate by giving us direction so that we can reach to Krishna. Now, let's so here our role is to accept what we need to do. So our role is to accept spiritual master and follow the follow the association, devotee association. Then only we will be able to do then only we'll be able to do bhakti with proper devotion. So let's take some example. Here what we need to do when we have to do bhakti, we have to do with sincerity and devotion. So what happens if we are not doing it with sincere and devotion? Sincere means that means sincere in the practice, and devotion is devoted means surrendered to the process. We have to be sincere and devoted. If we are not sincere, if we can't cheat Krishna will get to know easily. Like, let's take some example. In Krishna Leela, we have there is a gopi. Her name was Prabhavati. तो प्रभावती ने क्या किया, वो जब कृष्ण बटर स्टील कर रहे थे, when he was stealing the butter in the house of Prabhavati, she caught him और पकड़कर उनको वो यशोदा मैया के पास लेकर गए और उनको बोला, देखो मैं आपके आपके कान्हा को पकड़ के लेकर आई हूँ, वो हमारे घर पे बटर स्टील कर रहे थे. सो एट दैट टाइम व्हेन शी रियलाइज्ड इट वाज हर ओन सन, तो उस टाइम पे कृष्णा ने उनको मना किया था, बट स्टिल शी हैज टेकन हर टू यशोदा मैया. सो कृष्णा सेज, नेक्स्ट टाइम if you do the cheating to me again, I will become your husband and whole Vrindavan will laugh at you. So we should not cheat at Krishna. There is another example, Putana. Putana, what she has done? She has taken the form of a beautiful girl in order to feed Krishna. And Krishna, what he has done? He killed her by sucking the milk. While sucking the milk, he has sucked the life of Putana. But on the other hand, if we are doing Priti Purvakam with love and devotion, for example, Sabri, what she has done, she was waiting for Lord Ram to come for a long time, and she was preparing that bear. I don't know what we call in English. That bear is the fruit which she was preparing when thinking that when my Lord will come, I will give this to him. But that bear, what she was doing, she was tasting and keeping in order to make sure that the bear which she will offer to Lord Ram is tasty. So she was doing this with full devotion, पूरे भाव के साथ कर रही थी, मतलब पूरे प्यार के साथ, with full love. That's why Lord Ram has accepted it with full love. So कृष्णा भगवान को क्या चाहिए? हमें भगवान को केवल प्रेम की जरूरत है. भगवान के पास सारी चीज है. Bhagwan is full of 6 opulences, so he doesn't need our money, he doesn't need our doesn't need anything. He just need the love, the bhav. Arjun के केस में देख सकते हैं, like when Arjuna was in the battlefield and when in front of Arjuna, Bhishma Pitama came. That time Krishna has taken that जो रथ का जो पहिया होता है उसको उठा के मारने के लिए आ गए, जबकि उन्होंने एक वचन दिया था कि he will not fight he will not take any weapons in the battlefield. But वो उन्होंने अपना जो उन्होंने वचन दिया था, उस वचन को ही तोड़कर अर्जुन की रक्षा के लिए आ गए. क्यों? क्योंकि अर्जुन was devoted. He was devoted to Krishna. He was surrendered to Krishna. He was following him. So the point here is we need to surrender to Krishna. Priti Purvakam means with full devotion and love. And what is the how we can do that? Because when we have to surrender with love and devotion, we can't directly go just like this and then surrender, right? We need to engage ourselves in certain things, then only we will be able to do. What are those certain things? That is Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. If we follow these three things, automatically our mind, in the previous sloka, it talks about Matchitta, and even 9.34, the sloka is Manmana Bhava Bhakto. We think about Krishna. That thinking will come only when we start Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. So Sravanam is start hearing about Krishna. When we hear about Krishna, let me take an example. I think that way we'll be able to connect better. So there is one. I mean, there was one big Indian superstar, Rajesh Khanna. You might be knowing, like in the olden times. That time there was no internet or no all those things. So he used to get 50,000 letters every month or every year. I don't remember, but he used to get 50,000 letters, and some people used to write those letters with their own blood. They cut the part of the body and they will write with the blood that letter. So that much they were engaged in following him. So the point here is, like, when one person, how these people were able to follow that Rajesh Khanna, because they were watching his movies. They were reading the magazines, because at that time magazines used to come. They were reading the magazines about the film fairs where Rajesh Khanna was present and all those things. So he was reading. They were reading and they were watching the movies. That is how they were able to fulfill their mind with that particular personality. Now he can't connect with each and everyone one on one, right? But Krishna can do that. Krishna हमारे साथ one on one संपर्क कर सकते हैं. If we do the same thing towards Krishna, instead of doing towards a particular person who is not at all powerful. He's just a human being, right? So Sravanam and Kirtanam, Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam. These three things are important. So if we utilize these three things, this is the starting point, and then there goes Navada Bhakti as well, which is by which you can advance as well. So you need to start with Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. So once we start hearing, once we start doing with our mouth, we start doing Kirtan, and we start thinking about Krishna, then that way we will purify ourselves. Once we purify ourselves, we will automatically start surrendering to Krishna, and start doing devotional service in the mood of love towards Krishna. So Krishna also gives this in multiple slokas in Bhagavad Gita. Let's count those slokas. 9.26 and 9.27, where Krishna says, Patram Puspam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prachati. So Krishna says, like, whatever you offer, whatever you like, Patram Puspam Phalam Toyam, you can just offer a fruit, a leaf, a little water. He doesn't need so many things. Like, he doesn't need your gold, your money, and all those things. If you're offering this much small things, but with devotion, then Krishna is happy. He is looking at our bhav. And in 9.27, Krishna says, Yat karosi yat asnasi. So whatever you do as an offering to me. So the thing is, like, during your day, you don't have to leave everything. You can go to your office, you can do your regular work, but whatever you do, just do as an offering to Krishna. Okay, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this for Krishna. For example, if the Matajis who are doing cooking, they can think, okay, let me cook something for Krishna. And when they are cooking for Krishna, everyone at home will also have prasadam. Everyone's stomach will be filled, but Krishna has been included. Prabhuji is when they go to office for working, they will get they go to work because they can get some earning, they can get some money. But if we think in this manner, okay, if we go to office, we'll get some money which we can utilize for the service of Krishna, then we are connecting Krishna in this, right? So that way we need to connect everything to Krishna. We have to do everything as an offering to Krishna. Okay, when we start doing all these things towards Krishna, we get those reciprocation, and that's what Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yen ma upanyanti te. So Krishna is reciprocating by saying, like, I will give you buddhi yogam. He will give us the intelligence. Intelligence, why it is important? There are two types of intelligence, right? One is material intelligence, and the advanced level of intelligence is the real intelligence, which is using the intelligence for for going back home, back to Godhead, towards Krishna. So material intelligence is something which we utilize at our offices, or kids utilize in their studies. But the real intelligence is when we think about Krishna, when we start doing our activities towards Krishna. Now, what happens, like when nowadays in the world, people utilize, do their work with mind, not with intelligence. People, they are waking up at any time, they are eating whatever they like, they are doing whatever they like, they are so much degraded, they are not even using material intelligence as well. If once a person start utilizing the intelligence, then then he will be able to understand the path, and then he will understand, okay, I need to follow. Then their inquiries will come, why I'm suffering, why this thing is happening, why that is happening, uh, why suddenly I get so much of dukh, so much of miseries. So when all these questions starts coming, then he will search for the answers. That is where he is using a intelligence. So it starts with the Gyan Yoga, but then the Bhakti Yoga is the most important thing that Krishna will provide us once we start utilizing our intelligence. And not only like intelligence, but when we give our tan, man, dhan, everything towards Krishna, then Krishna will give that Buddhi Yoga. Then we will be able to think about Krishna, and we'll be able to focus uh, devotional service, and with devotional service we will be able to attain Krishna. Now, there are many these reciprocations. When I'm talking about reciprocation, you might have seen the reciprocation by Krishna in your life as well. Like, I'll give you an example from my life. So what happened, like in the initial days of my Krishna consciousness, when I started back in 2019, I I got I got faith and everything. Now, when at that time my brother's marriage was there at my hometown. uh, so I was thinking, like, in the marriage, I just started Krishna consciousness, and I know the importance of having prasadam, but in my home nobody knows. And this is the marriage time, and this is just start time. I can't say no to anyone at home that don't cook just like that. We need to prepare prasadam and everything. So uh, I was just thinking all these things, and Krishna reciprocated at that time. When I went home from Bangalore, and during the day of wedding, I just went to the kitchen to check out, like, what's happening and how it is happening. Is there onion, garlic in it, or is there way by which we can offer? So I got to know there is one initiated devotee who was the who was uh, serving in the kitchen of ISKCON Delhi and ISKCON Vrindavan, was doing the was preparing the prasad there. And that is what that came to me as surprise, because that is how Krishna reciprocated to me. And I connected with him, and I when I asked him, he told me that he is serving in ISKCON Vrindavan and ISKCON Delhi from last 15 years, and he is disciple of His Holiness uh, I just forgot the name. Gopal
Gopal
Krishna
Krishna
Goswami
Maharaj?
Maharaj. Yes. So he was
Goswami.
the, yes, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Yes. So that way Krishna connected to me and reciprocated to me. So think about the situation where I was thinking, how will I manage prasadam here? It is difficult for me. But Krishna reciprocated that. A senior devotee came, initiated devotee came and prepared prasadam for everyone, not only for me, but for the whole guest who came there for wedding, right? So that way Krishna will reciprocate. And how Krishna will reciprocate it, this is written in this is Krishna says this in chapter 4.11. Ye yatham prapadyante tastev tathav bhajamyaham. Whatever people surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. So at that time I was in the starting phase, so Krishna reciprocate according to that, according to my surrender, right? But as and when we start moving towards advanced stage, Krishna reciprocate with advanced stage, and he give us that buddhi yoga, which is bhakti yoga, so that we can with advanced stage we can reach back to Godhead. And for if when one person reach at the advanced stage, even mukti doesn't matter. What his purpose is to be engaged in the service. like in Prathu Maharaj's case, Prathu Maharaj says, like, give me 10,000 years so that I can hear about Krishna. That is the advanced stage. But right now, when we are in the beginning stage, we can do little bit. We can start with Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam. That way, Krishna will reciprocate, and then he will give us the intelligence so that we will be able to move forward, and he will guide us what to do next, and that way we will be able to reach back to home, back to Godhead. Quickly, to finish, I'll just give you give you one more example. But before that, let me say one sloka, which is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Brahmat Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. So in this sloka, it is written that whoever जो भगवान की जो भक्ति है वो शुद्ध भक्तों को मिलती है. मतलब जो बेसिकली जो भक्त को गुरु और कृष्ण का प्रसाद मिलता है उसको भक्ति लता का बीज मिलता है. एंड इवन इफ यू गो अराउंड द वर्ल्ड until unless you get that भक्ति लता बीज, you will not be able to move forward. So the spiritual master is important for us to connect to Krishna, and then only we will be able to progress further. So choosing the spiritual master and then following the devotional service is the path towards Krishna. And this bhakti we will get only in the life of human being. Like we have gone through like 84 lakh species. Right now we have got this Manushya Janma. If we are not utilizing this Manushya Janma, then we are not. It is like let me give you an example. There is a farmer who is farming in his farm, and all of a sudden he gets a lottery. He wins a Mercedes. Now he thinks, okay, I got the Mercedes. I can utilize that Mercedes for the farming. People will laugh at him like, why, you don't know the value of Mercedes or what? You are utilizing Mercedes for the farming. This is not the right way of utilizing Mercedes. Similarly, what we are doing, we have got this human body, which is like a Mercedes. We need to utilize it for inquiries to reach and surrender unto Krishna, surrender unto Guru, and reach the supreme destination. This is the body, this is the vehicle by which we can reach to Krishna, and not in other bodies. We have got this body which is like a Mercedes. We need to keep it safe, utilize it in the purpose which is why we have got this body, not like using Mercedes for farming. That means you are if we are doing with this the same thing with our body, that is eating, mating, defending, and eating, mating, defending, and fourth thing I'm forgetting.
Sleeping.
In English. So if we are doing those four things, that means we are doing the same thing whatever we have done life after life after life, right? That means we should avoid those things and follow these, utilize this body in the service of Krishna, in the service of Guru, and utilize this, and that way we'll be able to utilize this body properly. And with this I'll stop here. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving me the opportunity, and if I have done any mistake or if I have called something wrong, please forgive me for that.
Hare Krishna. Nice class, Prabhu. First time we are hearing you on the Zoom session, and we will keep it open for devotees who would like to have any questions or add-ons. So all the devotees, kindly unmute yourself and come on the video. And if you have any specific questions, and Rituraj Prabhu is waiting for your questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Prabhu, you very simply you explained that only through Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Vishnu Smaranam we can attend, we can please God. And it's very simple process, Prabhu. But in this material world, Maya is so powerful that she will not let us enter into that. But only this through these modes we can approach God and we can get connected to Him. That was nicely explained by you, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
You explained so nicely, Prabhuji. One point I liked. What means if we are having will, then Krishna will reciprocate with examples you told, Prabhuji. So nice. Thanks, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಇದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಸಿಕ್ಕದೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣನ ಭಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಗಿಡದ ಒಂದು ಬೀಜ ಸಿಕ್ಕದಂಗ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಬಹಳ ಫೈನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to see you in the morning, sharing this wonderful verse from Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu. So you nicely compared